Hello, how are you? Today I brought you a wonderful recipe to replace bread at breakfast or for an afternoon snack. You're going to love it for sure. This recipe has no sugar, no flour to give it texture, it's low in carbohydrates, and has no sugar. It's really interesting, very tasty, and super easy to make. Stay until the end because you won't want to miss this. Before we start, I want to ask you, what do you usually eat for breakfast? Let me know down below in the comments. I would love to see your comment. Also, remember to like the video. This is super important to me, and to share it with anyone you think would enjoy this healthy recipe. Let's spread this chain of kindness together. That's what I want here with the channel. To get the ingredients, which are actually just a few, right? There are only 3 essential ingredients. That's it. Take a look down below in the description, where I list the ingredients along with the quantities and nutritional information, okay? I mentioned there are 3 essential ingredients, but I'm going to add some seasonings here. So it's always good for us to season things, but they don't change the recipe in the sense that if you don't use it, right? The recipe still works just the same. It's just that I always like to give the flavor a little boost, you know? Using spices is always good for our health. So right here with our apple, which is the base of the recipe, peel and all, okay? Remember that apple peel is very rich in soluble fiber, pectin, apples are super nutritious, lots of antioxidants, so it's a great addition to our daily routine. I'm going to blend this apple until it becomes a puree, but what am I going to blend it with? I'm going to blend it with a little bit of turmeric I love and is a powerful anti-inflammatory. I'm going to add a little bit of cinnamon here. It was actually kind of stuck to my spoon, so I'm using another one to scrape it off, and I'm also going to add a bit of nutmeg. You can use whatever spices you like, as I mentioned before. If you don't want to use them, you don't have to, but I like to use them because we can also get benefits from these spices. Turmeric is a powerful antioxidant, it's very rich in curcuminoids, and don't worry if it doesn't have pepper. This is a sweet recipe because I'm going to add another ingredient that will help with the absorption of turmeric. I'll explain it to you in a moment. Nutmeg and cinnamon are very interesting, they're antioxidants. Cinnamon helps with carbohydrate metabolism, but all of this also adds flavor, right? Sweet recipes or sweet preparations also need to be seasoned, so that's why I like to use them. I'll blend this into a puree and then I'll come back to continue. Be right back. I finished blending it here with the hand mixer, and if you only have a blender or prefer to use a blender, that works just as well. Here with the apple, I'm going to add my chia seeds. And remember, I told you I was going to add an ingredient that would help with the absorption of curcumin from turmeric. It's chia because it has a large amount of healthy fat, a precursor to omega-3, and we know that fats help with the bioavailability and absorption of curcumin. So look, if you didn't know this, here's another great tip for you. Here, chia doesn't just have healthy fats, right? Of course, this fat is interesting for the absorption of curcumin, and it's also an anti-inflammatory fat because it's a precursor to omega-3. And it also has a lot of fiber. It has mucilage, so it brings many health benefits like blood sugar control and much more. I'm also going to add ground peanuts here, and if you want, you can add ground oats, ground almonds, whatever you like. I chose to use peanuts because they end up being more economical than ground almonds, which would be another option for us to add, still low in carbs, with less carbohydrate. But as I said, if you also want to use ground oats, that works too. The recipe will end up with a few more carbs, but it all depends on your needs, your eating habits, and what you're really looking for. It's not that one option is better than the other. It really depends on the balance you want to achieve at that moment. As long as you choose one of these healthy options, that's great. Tell me, which one would you pick? I grabbed my baking tray here, lined it with parchment paper to make things easier, and look, I'll show you the consistency it gets. See? It already forms a little dough, and I didn't even wait long. It was just the time it took to grab and line the tray. So it's quick, don't worry. It's really practical. I'm going to press this down until it's spread out evenly, and then we'll bake it. It's very quick and easy. Hold on, I'm about to give you another tip. Okay, I've leveled everything out, and now I'm going to make some markings here. I'm going to use this pizza cutter here, just to make the markings nice and neat. I'm going to bake it at 360 degrees. When it's ready, I'll come back here. This makes it easier when we go to take them out and separate the little cookies later. Our cookies turned out beautiful, didn't they? It only took 20 minutes to be ready. I'm dying to try them. Tell me, would you eat them with jam, with peanut butter? Remember that I have recipes here on the channel. So don't forget to like the video. That's your way of helping me out. And go ahead and share it with someone who would like it. Let's spread this chain of kindness together. That's what I want here with the channel. Let's try it. Crunchy, Just the right amount of sweet, and the spices gave it a really special touch, especially cinnamon. Make it yourself. See you next time. Bye.